About 10 years ago, I remember lying in bed trying to fall asleep when suddenly my heart started pounding, my mouth felt completely dry, my hands were shaking, and I felt like I couldn't breathe. And I remember thinking, what the hell is going on? Nothing was happening. My husband was just there beside me, my kids were asleep, and generally speaking, my life was actually pretty good. And I remember thinking, something is probably wrong with me. And it wasn't just that one night, it happened almost every night to the point I was afraid to go to sleep so I wouldn't feel those scary sensations again. And during the day, I felt constantly on edge. And I felt really frustrated when it started affecting the one thing I love doing most, which is riding my horse. I've been riding horses since I was 10 years old. I even worked as a riding instructor while I was in uni. So suddenly feeling anxious around my own horse made absolutely no sense to me. And it took me almost 2 years to find a way through that anxiety. And that experience actually changed the direction of my life and led me to become an anxiety therapist. So, in this video, I want to share 3 things I learned through my own anxiety journey that I really wish someone had told me back then. Growing up, my parents sent me to all sorts of extracurricular activities like ballet, or judo, painting. I tried so many different things, but there was only one thing I managed to stick with: horses. I was obsessed with them. By the end of high school, I was already working as a riding instructor just to help my parents pay the bills, and I continued teaching part time while I was at university. So, horses have always been part of my life. Then, around my mid 20s, my husband and I moved to Melbourne, Australia. And one thing I remember very clearly is that something in the air felt different. I couldn't pinpoint it at the time, but as time went by, I realized there was much less pressure around me. And that felt very strange because I grew up in a very hectic, high pressure, fragile environment. I didn't know any better, and I definitely didn't consider myself an anxious person back then. Because as a kid, I remember laughing a lot, riding my horse, so that was fun. After living in Melbourne for a few years, I started missing riding. So when my daughter's kindergarten teacher introduced me to my horse's previous owner, who was scared to ride him, I was so happy to ride him for her. And pretty quickly I realized there was something different about this horse. His name is Banjo, by the way. The thing that used to work with other horses did not work with Banjo. And when I eventually bought Banjo and moved him to a different property, that's when I saw how anxious he actually was. The things that used to work with other horses didn't work with Banjo. And at first, it didn't really faze me. But as the weeks went by, something started happening to me too. I started to feel very anxious just before going to bed. And the same happened just before I went for a ride, which was a very strange feeling for me. And I'll be honest, back then I didn't have any clue how to help myself feel calmer, or I didn't know how to help Banjo either. But I wasn't ready to give up riding. So I decided to stop focusing so much on my own anxiety and put all my energy into helping Banjo feel much less anxious. And looking back, that's where everything started to change. You see, around that time, I started listening to a horse trainer who was experimenting with different ways of helping anxious horses. And his approach was very different from what I knew. It was less about doing and more about slowing down and paying attention. So I started slowing down and watching Banjo more closely. I noticed his facial expressions, his body movement, coming every morning to see him without any agenda whatsoever, just noticing and slowing down. And that wasn't easy for me. I grew up in a very demanding environment where if you slow down, people thought you were lazy, and I really didn't like that. But because everything I tried with Banjo so far wasn't working, I had to let go of some of those beliefs I'd grown up with and look at him with fresh eyes. It wasn't comfortable at all. I noticed how tense my body was. It almost felt like I was going against the stream. But then I started noticing something else. Every time Banjo became tense, my body became tense too. Like my stomach would tighten, and immediately my mind would go, something's going to happen. He's going to react. I'm not safe. Abort mission. But honestly, most of the time, nothing was actually happening. He was just standing there. And that was a huge lesson for me. Feeling anxious doesn't always mean I'm in danger. I wasn't used to feeling those sensations in my body. So every time I felt something uncomfortable, my mind immediately jumped to the worst case scenario. And because I didn't want to feel it, I distract myself. I do something with Banjo, keep myself busy, anything really, so I didn't have to stay with that uncomfortable feeling. And I think I'd spent so much time in my head that I hadn't really noticed that was happening in my body until I finally slowed everything down. Around the same time, there was something else I had to learn. And this was probably even harder for me. I had to start letting go of control. Now, if you're not a horsey person, you might not realize how much control is talked about in the horse world. You need to control the horse, control where they go, control what they do, control their feet, because if you don't, something bad might happen. And to be fair, you are dealing with a very large animal, so of course safety is important. But for me, control had become much more than that. It made me feel safe. And looking back, I think that started long before Banjo. I grew up in a very unpredictable environment, so being organized, doing something, knowing what was going to happen next, all of that gave me a sense of security, of safety. And suddenly I had this horse who didn't respond to control in the way I expected him to. Actually, the more I tried to control everything, the more tense he became. And then I became tense. So I would try to control things even more. And it was just this vicious cycle. Then I remember that the trainer I was listening to talked about letting go. And I thought, this is a crazy idea. There's no way I'm going to do that. So I started with small steps that felt more comfortable for me. So some days I'd go to Banjo without having a plan at all. Maybe we'd just stand together while he was eating grass. Other days I'd ride without having any plan for what we needed to achieve. I was basically experimenting with him. And slowly I started to realize that letting go of control didn't mean I was losing control. It didn't mean I was being careless around him. I was learning that I didn't have to control every little thing in order to feel safe. And it was okay to be curious and see where things would lead me, rather than always needing to control the outcome. And interestingly, I started noticing that I was taking the same lesson to my family. Like I noticed, especially in the way I responded to my kids and to my husband. So before, if plans suddenly change, I really didn't like that. I wanted to know what was happening and what we were doing. Now plans could change and I might still feel uncomfortable with that, but I didn't feel that same need to control everything. And if one of my kids was upset, I didn't have to control the situation. All I needed to do was supporting them, allowing them to express their emotions, and just be there for them. I didn't get caught in their story. That's why I really started to understand that letting go doesn't mean you don't care. It just means you don't have to control the outcome. And the third lesson was probably the strangest one for me. I had to learn to allow myself to actually feel what I was feeling. Because when you feel anxious, the last thing you want to do is to feel anxious, right? You want it gone. And that's exactly how I felt. So when my stomach felt tight, I wanted it to relax. If my hands felt strange, I wanted that sensation to stop. Sometimes I felt on edge and I wanted to distract myself and do something so I didn't have to feel it. But spending all that quiet time with Banjo made that quite difficult because there was nowhere really to go. So I started experimenting with something I've never done before, allowing the feeling to be there. So if my stomach felt tight, I guess my stomach feels tight. And if I felt on edge, well, I guess I'm edgy today. And I tried not to add a story like, what's wrong with me? Why am I feeling this? What if it gets worse? I just tried to stay with the sensation for a little while. And back then, I didn't know anything about nervous system regulation or processing emotions or sitting with your emotions. I didn't even know that's a thing. I was simply trying something different because everything I'd done so far didn't really work. And what really surprised me was that when I stopped putting the lid on those sensations, They often moved much faster than I expected. Sometimes the tightness just felt softer or the sensation changed. And sometimes I just noticed it wasn't that scary anymore. And I think before that, I'd been so afraid of feeling anxious that I was actually adding another layer of anxiety on top of it. So, like, I didn't just had the butterflies in my stomach. I was scared of those butterflies. Or I wasn't just feeling edgy. I was scared of what that edginess might feel like. And when I started taking away some of that fear or judgment, I could just notice, this is just what I'm feeling right now. I didn't like it. I didn't understand exactly where it came from, but I didn't push it away or made it disappear. I was able to be curious about that instead, like, why do I feel it in my body? Or have I felt this way before? Or how strong is the sensation? And to be honest, most of the time I didn't have any answer. And I think that was okay. And this is something I still practice today. And it's something I use with my clients as well. It's definitely easier said than done. I completely get that, especially when the sensation feels so scary. But for me, learning that I could feel something uncomfortable without needing it to be fixed or to get rid of it completely changed the way I responded to anxiety. Now, I'm not going to pretend it was easy, because it wasn't easy at all. And it took me about 6 months before I started writing Banjo, and probably around a year and a half before I reached the goal I originally set for us. And then one day I realized that what I'd learned with Banjo wasn't just helping me. I could actually teach these skills to other people. So I started helping other riders who felt anxious, and I noticed something really interesting. When they learned to slow down with their horses, they started noticing changes in themselves too, and their horses felt calmer as well. And that eventually made me want to go deeper and help more women, not just around horses, but in their everyday lives. So I decided to train professionally and become a therapist. And what amazed me during my training was how much of what they were teaching felt so familiar, like slowing down or paying attention to what's happening in the body or noticing those little changes in someone's facial expressions or movement, or staying curious about what's happening right now. And I remember thinking, I've been practicing this with Banjo for years. And I started this whole journey because I was trying to help my anxious horse. I didn't realize that he was actually teaching me how to understand my own anxiety. There's a beautiful quote from Dr. Wayne Dyer that I love, which is, if you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. And I think that sums up this journey for me. I didn't overcome my anxiety by becoming better at fighting it. I just changed the way I responded to it. So if you're struggling to feel safe in your own body, I've made another video where I show you one of the strategies I use to help your body feel calmer. And you can watch it right here.